In this video, I want to talk about how the Quran describes the Prophet Lot and how the Bible describes the Prophet Lot. In the Quran, we find verses that say that the Prophet Lot was favored over the other people during his time, meaning he was very honored, he was very elevated in status. And we also find a verse in the Quran which says that he was admitted into God's mercy because he was one of the righteous. In the Bible, in Genesis, it talks about the Prophet Lot getting extremely intoxicated and having incest with his daughters. One night he sleeps with one, then the next night he gets intoxicated again and sleeps with the other. And they both have offspring. They both give birth to a child. So compare the two. Which one makes more sense? The depiction of Lot in the Quran or the depiction of Lot in the Bible? We don't believe that Lot had incest with his daughters. We believe he was very honored, he's very righteous, he was a pious person. But the Bible, there's many forgeries in the Bible. There's many false stories in the Bible. And that's one of them. We do not believe that the Prophet Lot had incest with his daughters and they gave birth to a child and he became extremely drunk that he didn't even know what he was doing. This is the depiction of Lot in the Bible. Now compare that to what I said about the Quran, what the Quran says about the Prophet Lot, and you make your mind up, which one makes more sense. What you have to remember is that prophets were chosen people. They were specially selected because of their righteousness, because of their piousness. They weren't like other people. So how can the Bible say that the Prophet Lot, such a righteous being, pious, committed incest in his old age with his daughters, and they gave birth to kids through incest, and he was so intoxicated that he didn't even know what he was doing on 2 nights. On the first night, it says that he was intoxicated, that he doesn't know what he's doing, and then on the second night he got intoxicated again and he didn't know what he's doing. Does this make sense? If you're intoxicated, you'd be able to recognize what you're doing. You'd know if you did something like that. You know, there's many people who have been intoxicated and they've recognized what's going on, the next day. So this doesn't make no sense. This is a forgery. This is not truth. The Prophet Lot was a righteous being, very God-fearing, pious. He used to worship Allah. He used to encourage the good and forbid the evil. And I encourage you to read about the Prophet Lot in the Quran and compare that with the Lot in the Bible, and you make a decision which one makes more sense. I'm making this video not to cause animosity. I'm trying to spread the truth. I'm trying to shed light on the reality, and people need to know, because there's 2.5 billion Christians in the world who are believing this stuff, and it's not right. We need to shed light on the truth and call people to what's right, so people recognize right from wrong. And the story of Lot in the Bible is definitely not the truth. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you found this video beneficial. Please spread it around and stay strong in the deen for all the Muslim brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.